What is good with y'all, man? LTB, YouTube's MVP, chatting to my yappers. I'm yapping to my yappers. I'm talking to my yappers, man. What is going on? Y'all see the title. Y'all know exactly what we're getting into, man. I think some people got this whole snitching thing messed up. I'm here to educate y'all on who to really target when it comes to snitching.
Bad. Do not be in the streets. Be a civilian. They keep moving the goalposts back every time somebody snitches. He fucking told. If somebody robs you and you write a statement on them, that is fucking telling. As a man, you're just not supposed to do that. So you that scared of somebody that you want him to go in jail because he did something to you because of your wrongdoing? Fuck that. The sad thing is y'all really let people like this dictate your life and influence you to crash out. Y'all listen to this type of music, then you start selling drugs like the music. You start doing crimes like the music. Fuck that. The streets are dead. Stop idolizing these fucking people. They don't give a fuck about you. The shit they talk about, they don't live by. You gonna live by the shit they talk about and ruin your whole life. Rap music is dead. And to my friends, stop sucking dick. None of y'all listen to Gucci's music, bro. In New York, we never listen to Gucci. I can't name one solo Gucci song where you're like, yeah, we about to listen to Gucci in New York, bro. Nobody in New York listens to Gucci. It's not the case. You're lying if you say that.
So that was a clip that I had ran into on Instagram. I've been seeing that guy. For a while now, and he's right sometimes and he's wrong sometimes. Sometimes he comes off very ignorant. Sometimes he comes off, whatever. But we're not here to talk about his page. We're here to talk about that particular statement. So let's tackle a few of his points, right? Because it's going to coincide with my point. First things first. Before we get into any of that, he said rap is dead. Incorrect. Just right there, incorrect. You could say it's dying, but it'll die when the soul of it stops caring about the art. I think there's still some soul in rap, just a little bit, but the more we glorify the wrong side, that is when rap will truly die. Now, I'm sure y'all notice I'm pretty reserved here. I could crash out and talk about, how ridiculous this is because it's really stupid, okay? But there's just no point. Let's focus on point one. He says that be a civilian, don't be in the streets. People keep moving the goalposts. No, I don't think that's moving the goalposts, sir. I think if you had something to do with the streets, then yeah, you stand by that code to not snitch. If you want to be Tommy Tough Knuckles and be on tracks talking about some, yeah, I did this, I did that, blah, 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 you current day. The problem is, I think people have immortalized the version of Gucci Mane from 2006. I think they've immortalized the version of Gucci Mane that was running around talking about bricks and yada yada back in the day. They've immortalized that version. They still see that version, even though he hasn't shown you any sign of that version current day. Now, I'm not at all going to sit here and tell you that Gucci Mane is a good person today, because he sounds like a pretty negligent manager from the sounds of things. He does. He sounds like a very negligent manager. But if you are a civilian, yes, you have every right. Like, what do you say? As a man, you're not supposed to tell. As a man, you're not supposed to tell. So you mean because I did something to you, you're going to run and tell? I don't understand this logic, because let me just put it to you like this. Say someone runs up on me, stabs me, takes all my money, runs away with it, right? Well, I'm hitting you with a base issue. Someone takes all my money on the streets, right? We're in the streets now. I'm using the streets as an example. Someone that coincides with the streets takes my money in the streets. They stab me. Well, we have option one. I get my money back. I call the police because I don't live that lifestyle, and they can very well use their guns, whatever they got to do to get my money back for me. We can go that route. Or I could pretend like I'm from the streets. Let me not call the cops where they have all the resources to get my money back. Let me go get my gun and let me go get it back in blood. Now, instead of, I don't know, doing it the right way because I was the victim and everything, I have to reinforce a lifestyle that I had nothing to do with in the first place. You're basically saying, as a man, don't call the cops. Do it yourself. Go find someone who may be fucking armed. Like, again, you're talking to people who may love their families. You're talking to people who may love their life at the moment. Why do I have to be Tommy Tough Knuckles because you are? I don't understand that philosophy. Now, again, you're talking to somebody that knows how to fight. You're talking to somebody that has weapons. You're talking to somebody that knows how to protect themselves. I know how to protect myself, and I'm still telling you that idolizing that lifestyle is very, very fucking stupid. Again, this is open dialogue. You get in the comment section, you tell me that I'm tripping, you tell me, no, that's not what he meant, or whatever the case may be. I'm willing to listen to you. But again, is Gucci street to y'all? And I want to ask that question for this reason and this reason only. Is it because he's a rapper? Do you think he's street? Because if that's the same, like, do you think Jack Harlow street? Do you think J. Cole is street? Do you think Kendrick Lamar is street? Do you think Drake is street? Do you think any and all rappers are street? Or do you think they're street because they sound a particular way and look a particular way and exude a specific lifestyle? Now, if a motherfucker comes out their mouth and continuously tells you they're street, fine. But I don't think that's the case here. Gucci Mane went to prison for a long time. He came out. You barely heard anything about any type of street shit with Gucci Mane. Again, if you want to go but he raps about it. I've said this a million times. How many times have you heard rappers say things in songs and then in real life they like, rappers lie all the time. They lie. So if your argument is, oh well, then they shouldn't be talking about it. Again, 90% of the music you hear comes from people that aren't living that particular lifestyle. They're not. I'm sorry to tell you, they're not. So I want to get into another thing that really bugged me about this entire thing. Now, y'all can tell me that if Gucci Mane post prison release has done any of this stuff. You're allowed to. But I'm right quick. I just want to tell you what I believe is the right reason to make fun of snitching. The right reason to make fun of snitching is one of the perfect reasons that we've gotten in recent memory. 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine was on tracks talking about how he really kills people, how he really runs up on people and beats people's asses, how he really exudes the street lifestyle. He gets off of tracks and then he gets on camera talking about how, yeah, this was going on, we was doing this, yada, yada, yada. And 6ix9ine was one of the biggest trolls on the block. You would never be able to catch him in public. There were times where he wanted you to pull up. He would show that on camera. He never got ran up on, other than the one time Meek Mill was in front of him and did absolutely nothing. So there was your sign that Meek Mill wasn't who he said he was. If he ever said that he was a tough guy off of the again, the parts that matter to me is what they say when they're not recording music, when they're not on songs talking about whatever. Because if you're connecting your real life to what you talk about in your music, yes, you are essentially perpetuating, yeah, this is really who I am. This is really what I do. If you're getting off of tracks and like Kanye talks about weird shit all the time, and then outside of it, he's talking about weird shit, I'm gonna think he's a weird ass guy. That's how that goes, to me at least. It's like wrestling even. Do you think half the wrestlers who do like half that, like all the stuff they do you think they get off a camera and they're really that version of themselves? Again, rap can really be art sometimes. You can really perpetuate but not be it. So I say that to say this. 6ix9ine was on tracks really talking about how he kills people. He was talking about how he will really run up on you, that he'll really pull up on you and do this. He was getting off of tracks talking about how I really do this and really do that. The first chance he got, he told on the people that kidnapped him. Same situation. They kidnapped him. They in his own words, they kidnapped him. They beat his baby mother. You know, they threatened his family. You hear all that as a civilian. You're telling everything. You're going to. As a street person, as a street guy, you have a reputation to uphold suddenly. You can now not tell, because if you do, you're no longer street. You're no longer street, or at the very least, you're bitch made. You're bitch made street. You're part of the streets, but you're an easy lick. You're somebody that people make an example out of. I say this to say this, and well, I use him as an example for this reason only. Gucci Mane was allegedly kidnapped by Pooh Shiesty's father, Big 30, and a couple other people, right? If you are not street, that scares you. That shit scares you. It scares you. People are talking about how it was weak that Gucci Mane brought up everything in a song. Now, look, here's the part that I think that Gucci Mane was in the wrong on. If you fucked over Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 and anyone else in that label, which Gucci Mane has been known to do, he's been known to kind of underrepresent. We know the history of Gucci Mane and his label. Either most of them are dead or they're in jail. We know the story. We do. We've seen it. If Pooh Shiesty was pulling up on him as somebody who felt like he was wronged contractually, again, there's ways to handle it that doesn't land you back in prison. You just got out. Hell, you just dropped a hit. Excuse me, you just dropped a hit. A first day out hit. It blew up. You had eyes on you, Pooh Shiesty. You just got out of prison. Whether you think that he's the victim in this and he got wronged, again, there's ways to do this. And I want to turn my attention back to the white guy, Cole, I think his name is, that we were just, we were using his video. Again, he's from New York. Just because you're from there doesn't mean you're instantly tough, that you instantly understand the streets. If you've never gone to prison, if you've never been in a situation where you've had to shoot at motherfuckers, if you've never been in a situation where you had to, or faced with the situation of, oh, well, I either tell and look like a bitch or I don't tell. If you've never been faced with that, again, you're using. I can't believe I even have to explain it this way. But if you've never gone through that, if you have if you live that lifestyle, yes, you're qualified to talk about it. I've been in the hood before. That doesn't make me street, because I never wanted to be like the people that I lived around. That's just not how that went. I didn't give a fuck about the streets. I never, not one time, wanted to be street. Not once. I could have joined gangs. I could have been, Mr. Weed smoking and all that shit. I could have been all the shit that makes me a hood guy, a hood motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I could have been all that. The only thing I ever inherited from the streets was the lingo, was the fucking, how to talk. Because that's just what I am. This is who I am. I'm a fucking nerd. Right there, he said he's a nerd. He's disqualified from talking about anything having to do with the streets. I guess. I guess. I've lived in more hoods than anyone watching this video combined. I've been there. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I can talk about this shit. Hell, you want to say, oh, he's a civilian. Lee's a civilian. I am a civilian. I'm proud of that. I'm gonna outlive half of the motherfuckers watching this video that want to talk on behalf of the streets. What has the streets ever done good for half of y'all? What does it do? So let's get back to the point, because I'm gonna get personal. And I don't want to get personal, because when I do that, then I have to start getting into that mode. I don't want to. It's not worth it. The streets have never facilitated a good life for anybody. They have not. If they have, get away from the streets once it gives you that good life. If you want to say that Pooh Shiesty was wronged in the situation, and oh well, you know, he was the one getting fucked over. Okay, cool. Again, bro, you just served many years in prison. Why would you do this out loud ass thing? Oh, I know why. Because you were hoping that Gucci Mane was going to be solid and not say shit, right? You thought that he was going to be solid and not tell on your ass. You thought that he was going to be cool and go, oh, well, we could do this and scrap it out. We'll probably just shoot at each other and blah, blah, blah. Again, y'all are celebrities. Y'all are going to, like, garner. Again, Pooh Shiesty dropped a top 20 hit this year. Dude, people are watching you. They're looking at you. If you didn't care about that aspect, at the very least, know you have ops too that you've been talking about. So you've landed yourself right back in prison. Pooh Shiesty, everyone involved in the situation now are looking at 30 years. And I see no reason why you wouldn't get 30 years. Again, you were wronged in a business aspect. That was the time to handle it professionally. The streets, y'all got it backed up. Y'all got it reversed. Y'all want to go business when you're in prison instead of going business when you're in the streets, when you're free. Now you want to turn businessman when you're locked up and you got time to think about things and mull shit over. Now that you're locked up, now that you want to go business mode now. It doesn't make sense at all to me. But again, y'all could tell me if I'm tripping, because I'm not street. I'm not street at all. It truly seems like the only people that have a problem that somebody does not want to be targeted by a fucking... I actually can't believe this has to be said, because it sounds like common sense to me. But again, maybe it's because I'm a civilian. I can't believe there are people that have a problem that somebody does not want to be targeted by a motherfucker who just wanted them dead. By someone who just threatened their life. Again, let's go back to Cole's, let's go back to Mr. Cole, the white guy that y'all seen earlier. As a man, you're not supposed to tell. You mean somebody just did something that wronged you and threatened your life and made you feel like you shouldn't be alive, and you know what I'm saying, put you in a situation where you know what I'm saying, you feel like your life's in fucking danger. Again, Gucci Mane's a millionaire, a husband, a father, all this stuff. In his mind, in y'all minds, he's a street motherfucker, a business mogul, all that stuff. Yes, he's in the business aspect of things. We look at it from the business side of things, and that is where I feel like Gucci Mane acted out, and he's protecting an investment. For someone who snitched, his wife is still standing 10 toes down. People from his family aren't coming out the woodworks and saying, "Oh, you were disrespected the code." No one, they're not saying that. Versus when you snitch as a street motherfucker and your peers come out and say, "Damn," or they distance themselves from you. Look at all the people that are talking about this. on in media outlets and stuff. I've never seen a more mixed reaction to something in my life. The only people who want Gucci Mane, who want all the street motherfuckers who aren't street, who want all the civilians who aren't street to keep perpetuating that lifestyle, are motherfuckers who don't mind you crashing out and losing your life, because they have nothing to lose when you die. No, I want you to still keep looking tough for me. Who the fuck are you? Why do I have an obligation to go out there and find somebody and beat their ass so you look at me in a better light? If I tell y'all I know how to fight and I got guns, it increases my aura or whatever the fuck. But say I leave the guns part out. Say I know how to fight. You're gonna want me to prove it, so you know I actually know how to fight, versus just taking my fucking word for it. Because what? If I was, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. For y'all talking about, like, you know what I mean? Like, I already know how to do this shit for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't find them. Like, I really scrap with a nigga for real to get down with me, feel me? If I was talking like that, then you take my word for it. You think I know how to fight. You think I seen some shit. Motherfuckers that sound like Kodak Black, you're gonna take their word for it. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, they know how to fight. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, they seen some shit. But me, with an articulate vernacular, I don't know how to fight, because I gotta prove it to you now. I will happily prove it to anybody who wants to know. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when it's right and when it's wrong to make fun of snitches. Is Gucci Mane a snitch? By definition, yes, he is. Streets-wise, yes, he is. Even in a civilian case, yes, he is. Yes, he's a snitch. Is he wrong for snitching? That's the aspect I care about. Is he wrong for telling? Well, let's see. He had his life threatened. This very well could have turned into a case where his family would have been threatened. Yeah, I think he was fucking right for telling. I think so. Let's go back. Was Gunna right for telling? Was Gunna perpetuating the streets when he told? Probably not. Who knows? He was in a gang, I guess. Did he assist in killing anybody? If he did, then yeah, sure, he was streets. If Gunna was streets, y'all would say he was wrong for snitching. I simply said, because I remember saying that he was a snitch. He is. Just because you are a snitch doesn't mean that you were wrong for that in the context of why you were telling. 6ix9ine was Mr. Hood, part of the Bloods, and all this other side dumb shit. Gang member who was in real life telling you that he would beat people up, kill people, and in tracks telling you he would beat people up, kill people. And faced with the opportunity to stand solid, he told to. And then 6ix9ine's out here saying, look, I told y'all. No, bro. No, this isn't a goalpost thing. if again, y'all can tell me if I'm tripping or not. If Gucci Mane's post-release has not been hood, has not been selling bricks or whatever the case may be, or if he has, he's still been doing that stuff, again, okay, cool, y'all got me. But if he's been a rapper, he just so happens to be a rapper, but he's a civilian, he's a regular ass dude just like me, yeah, 6ix9ine, you're alone in this boat. I promise you. Everyone who tells you're not, like, bro. Again, it's only so fun to make fun of 6ix9ine for snitching, because again, dude, you were tough and all this shit. Instead of getting it back in blood or whatever the hell, doing whatever the fuck you do as a street motherfucker, the first opportunity you got, you told. And then you gave us the reason why you told. And since being released, you haven't been in any altercations. You haven't, like, you've been talking loud still. You've been talking about, oh, I do this, I do that. You're right back to telling people how tough you are. You don't understand how that looks When is the last time Gucci Mane said, yeah, I'll slide on you, I'll do this, I'll blah, 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 I'll beat your ass, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to get different sides of this conversation. I'm going to get different sides of like whatever. People talk to me more on Instagram than anything and DM me and tell me about shit than they do the comments. And y'all can. That's fine. We can have a conversation about it. Y'all could try to educate me on it. Whatever. But that's the thing. I need education on it because I'm not a fucking street nigga. I'm not. So is Gucci Mane right for telling? In my personal opinion, you're protecting your investment, you're protecting your family, you're protecting yourself. Fine. If this was just a one-on-one thing, I'd say fuck telling. Fight that motherfucker. If this was a one-on-one thing, but you literally had multiple people pull up and threaten this nigga's life, you kidnapped him and threatened his life. I don't give a fuck what we're talking about in any case. If Gucci Mane would have severely wronged him first, again, this is just a money thing. From my perspective, it's just a money thing. If this was a I threatened your life first thing, then okay, Gucci Mane had that shit coming then. But this is a money thing. It's money. And again, just like on the track, on Crash Dummy, you're still signed to him, Pooh. You still signed to him, bro. You and Big 30. You're both still signed to that motherfucker. That's the sad part about all this. So I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Just because you hear someone snitched, when you hear the context, that's where you judge. If a motherfucker is, yeah, come on now. I know the context. I feel like Gucci Mane, I feel like there are two wrongs, but there's a wronger side. I feel like Pooh Shiesty is wronger than Gucci Mane. If Gucci Mane was really fucking him out of money, if he was taking money out of his mouth, whatever the case may have been, sure. Talk to him. Again, this is the part that people are missing. Talk to him first. Dude, your first instinct was to go for the kill. I'm missing it. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. So, with that being, the case, y'all tell me if I'm tripping or not. Get engaged in the comment section. Tell me something. And of course, subscribe, become a yapper. Like the video if you like the video. Share it to the motherfuckers you want to save. And beyond any case, vibe, have a good time, find God, love God, stay with God, and I will see y'all later, man. Peace out.
Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old twat, 69 assholes tied